If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.
Welcome back. Now it's time to get to the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. Don't you feel the excitement of mediation, folks? Ooh, yeah. He woke me up this morning, started me on my way. He put food on my table. He brought joy to my day. Ooh, I'm sizzling in mediation, baby. Ooh, wee. Let's get to it. Story number 1, choosing a career in America and why it's pivotal for the future. One USA Today article points out how America needs more teachers. The article gives the reader a visual of what it takes to be a teacher in today's often polarizing culture and environment. Now, in the article, the reader hears it from the analyst's perspective, but is a very important piece. This is a very important article due to the current state of morale that career teachers are in. They're not happy with their job. This article serves as a source to why more teachers are needed more now than ever before. Story number 1, big headline. That's why I made it in this week. Story number 2, Mitch McConnell tells CEOs to stay out of politics. In an attention-grabbing headline, Republican lawmakers must now explain why they're adjusting voting rules. After businesses showed opposition to voting laws, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell told CEOs to stay out of politics. The new argument and talking points are the new reality that everybody faces in the information age, and that is the fact that Americans are losing their jobs, friends, and family bonds because of political differences, different ideologies. When it comes to politics, politics has also put America in an attitude adjustment mode, with everyone becoming a politician or a political voice for the people and their fan base. Now, athletes, actors, and many other platforms have somehow become a voice for those feeling that they need some representation or help for somebody other than somebody elected into office. Now, with social media and the wide use of cell phone video cameras, everything is now out in the open. Now, the Mitch McConnell story is just one of many stories surfacing when it comes to the political divide in America and how hard it is to maintain professionalism and just do your job in the new world where everyone has a voice, everyone has an opinion, and almost everybody has a platform. Story number 2, big headline. Story number 3, what got the Georgia election law in the news? Voting has been on the radar for some time now, from gerrymandering, voter suppression, and any other tactic used to adjust voting laws. These stories are gaining steam because of current laws to adjust the voting system already put in place. Current elections have brought the story to center stage. Now, there is a USA Today opinion piece and a Washington Post piece that has a very informative video that points out what is actually taking place with Georgia's election bill. I really encourage you to go to the website and check this article out and the video. Now, the opinion piece in USA Today points out why the law should not be compared to Jim Crow, while the Washington Post piece gives voices and opinions from the academic's perspective, pointing out some key talking points and why this bill made national news. Now, it may be important to listen to others and how they have been affected and what they have to say when you research this story. It's good to just listen and see, get different angles, different points of views. Now, this story is important because of the many different angles discussed when it comes to voting. The story also points out how some voters will be left out because they could be disqualified from voting. Now, this is a real deal story because if you limit or regulate voting, you alter the course of policies for the future. Story number 3, big headline. That's why I made it in this week. It deserves some time to look up. Big headline. Story number 4. The world economy could rebound faster than expected. The IMF is painting a pretty nice picture for economic growth. Growth is projected to carry on into 2022. Now, they're saying that vaccination plays a big part in powering the economic gains. The interesting part about this BBC report is the fact that China has already returned to pre-pandemic levels of economic activity. This is versus the fact that other countries are not expected to recover until 2023. Some countries aren't expected to recover at all. The article goes on to discuss poverty by stating that people who are extremely poor are likely to have increased into poverty. The number has went up to about 95 million. So people who were poor before and are poor now, the numbers jumped up. Now, last year, this included a rise of about 80 million people who are now undernourished. So that means that that this number could get even bigger if you take that 95 million, you add on this 80 who are almost there. This could be bad, and that's why story number 4 made it in this week. Well, those are our top 4 stories that made it this week. I'll be right back with the top 4 international headlines and developing news stories. So don't go anywhere. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West. I'll be right back. If you want to check out the stories that almost made it in or did make it in, go to our Twitter feed on our website. Check out everything. All of the sources are there. And go to the website. It's method8inc.com. Method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Welcome back. Now it's time to get to the top 4 international headlines and developing news stories that made it this week. If you don't feel it by now, it's time to get motivated, to get excited about doing something. Whether you got to go on the job or you have to get in front of the screen and realize that the audience can't see your legs, but they're there. We've got to run for greatness. Run to do something with our time, something positive, especially if it's involved with peace and mediation. Let's unite. Let's come together and form a bond of unity. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it? Let's get to it. Story number 5. Trust is a hard thing in America, but it's the truth. We're having a hard time trusting each other. That's why I'm here, to help you, show love, to give you something to look forward to. The great political divide, slavery to abolitionists, to abolishment, Jim Crow to unity, and now a doctor and public officials telling you that you have to be vaccinated. One Fox News report says that trust in America is at an all-time low when it comes to the CDC and probably just people trusting healthcare officials and themselves and other people, period. Now, trust is just about every institution in the United States is not only low, but the main talking point in this discussion is how some U.S. citizens still have no clue how the United States system of government even works. So even if they don't even trust the people that they're working for, they don't even know how they got elected or how to get them out of office. Story number 5 is a big headline. Academics from each aisle are voicing their views on a solution to this problem, and it has a lot to do with education. It has a lot to do with how you view your own country, your own surroundings, your attitude, whether you're optimistic or pessimistic. That's why story number 5 made it this week. Big headline, big developing news. Story number 6. We may not want to believe it, but COVID-19 is still here, folks. It's still here. It's here. Now, reports are looking very grim for countries who can't afford to treat COVID-19. Most recent reports say that Latin America is having a very hard time fighting the virus because of high numbers of mortality rates in Brazil, Peru, Chile, and Paraguay. Now, Peru reportedly put a limit on how many people could leave the house. So they go to businesses. They had to put a limit outside of the Americas. France has also entered into its third national lockdown due to an ICU surge, according to one BBC report. So if you're living in America and you think you got it rough, there's a lot of more people in other countries who have it rougher. So that's why story number 6 made it in this week. We have to start grouping together and showing love and believing in greatness in where we reside. Woo! I get shivers every time I think about unity and the American spirit. Isn't it great? That's why story number 6 made it this week, folks. Story number 7 in the top 2 international headlines and developing news stories that made it in this week. Congratulations, you made it this far. Poverty is spreading and people are doing some crazy things to get money, for money. A woman reportedly killed her 6-year-old son for the insurance money, according to a Houston report. The report says the woman took out 2 life insurance policies out on her 6-year-old son before he died from a lethal doses of medications and some over-the-counter drugs, which caused him frightening hallucinations and then apparently his death. Now, this is bad because the poverty bubble has gotten bigger due to COVID-19, and you could probably see in some of these stories that people are doing some crazy things just to get money. The stats are showing a slight rise in homeless rates, robberies, and crimes when it comes to stuff like this, even while hiring signs are popping up in the windows of some places. So the thing is what will it take to create even more jobs and an increase and to try to increase some aid to the poor by making them more productive? Now, in this developing story, let's hope the question to these answers are answered soon is, how do you help people who sometimes can't help themselves or don't want to help themselves? Story number 7 points out a lot about poverty and about the American way and how people are struggling just to make ends meet in a country that gives aid to its people. So story number 7 is a big headline, and a lot of people losing and there's a lot of people winning. But how do you get everybody on an even playing field? That's why story number 7 made it to the top 2 this week. Story number 8 and the top international headline and developing news story that made it this week. I'm spreading the news. I'm doing it today. Don't you wanna be a part of it? Mediation. Ooh. Ooh. These little town shoes are melting away. King of the hill. Already the Biden agenda is being tested. From the government spending plans on infrastructure to the crisis at the border and the war on poverty, already analysts are all over the place trying to add things up in regards to the Biden agenda. The test now is if the Biden agenda will help or hurt America. The questions now are: what will work? What can work? What is working? And if anything can work when it comes to government intervention into the lives of everyday people. So far, we've witnessed a lot of solutions being rationed out around D.C. to keep things afloat, and only time will tell what will work and what won't work. Now, we're talking about racial issues, strife, deep division inside of America. And that's why story number 8 made it to the top this week. Police, public relations, political activism, political relations, who's getting things done. It's all bottled up inside of story number 8, and that's why I made it this week. Well, those are our top 8 local headlines and developing news stories and international headlines and developing news stories. I hope you got something out of today's program. I always get something out of doing the research. As usual, I'd like to thank all the news outlets, the journalists, the media, the people on the front lines. You deserve all the credit. I am just stuck in the middle. I'm the mediator, stuck in the middle. If you want to show some support, show me some support or anything I do here for the community, all you have to do is visit the website on the screen. Buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I'll be back next week looking through over 200 or more stories just to keep you informed. I'm volunteering my time to do this for you so you can stay on top of your game. Thank you for tuning in this week. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for tuning to The Mediator with me, Brian West. Peace.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator